Hello, friends. Once again, welcome back to Heart with My, episode 5, the last episode of 2020. Wow, what a year it has been. While I can choose to share some of the most challenging and toughest days, I find myself smiling at all the wonderful moments I've had. And despite the challenges, I was able to make 2020 one of my best year yet, due to the following insights and lessons, which I'm sharing with the hope that you will spend some time to reflect on your year as well, and perhaps you will find many surprising lessons learned. These lessons will be lessons that we can all choose to continue to apply to make the most of 2021. But first of all, I want to thank you, all of those that have gone above and beyond their duties to make this year as best as it can be. Thank you to all the frontline workers risking their lives to help all those who are in need. Thank you, essential workers, for going about your daily jobs to ensure that we have supplies, food, and all our basic necessities. Thank you to all the educators for spending the extra time to learn a whole new way of teaching to ensure our children are able to continue with their learning. Thank you to the leaders of all the industry, government bodies, small businesses who step up to represent those who needed their help and need an immediate solutions. Thank you to my own family and friends for supporting me through 2020, as it was a year of a lot of retrospection, digging deep, self-reflection, and reconnecting back with my passion and purpose. And without your time and effort to support me, I would not have had the year that I had. Here are my lessons of 2020, and I want to start with a story. A blind boy sat on the steps of a building with a hat by his feet. He held up a sign which read, "I am blind, please help." There were only a few coins in the hat, spare change from folks as they hurried past. A man was walking by. He took a few coins from his pocket and dropped them into the hat. He then took the sign, turned it around, and wrote some words. Then he put the sign back in the boy's hand so that everyone who walked by could see the new words. Soon the hat began to fill up. A lot more people were giving money to the blind boy. That afternoon, the man who had changed the sign returned to see how things were. The boy recognized his footsteps and asked, "Were you the one who changed my sign this morning? What did you write?" The man said, "I only wrote the truth. I said what you said, but in a different way. I wrote, 'Today is a beautiful day, but I cannot see it.'" Both signs spoke the truth, but the first sign simply said the boy was blind, while the second sign conveyed to everyone walking by how grateful they should be to be able to see. I read the story from an article written by Nick Ordner, the CEO of the Tapping Solution, and found it to be a wonderful story to represent the lesson that I've learned. And the first lesson is about gratitude. I learned deeply this year the importance of being grateful. As the world became so chaotic and things are not going our way, I see left, right, and center people losing jobs, people dying, people being discriminated. There is so much suffering and pain. And yet I look at myself and I look at my family members, how we are all still breathing, still being able to go about our daily life. And just the fact that our heart is still beating, I already feel blessed. And just the fact that my family members are all healthy, I'm already blessed. And just the fact that I still have a job, I'm already blessed. So this year, I focused a lot on all the things that I still have. And the simplest thing is my breath. So going through the year, I found the practice of gratitude to really help me anchor in to the moment and realize that I'm still able to do all the things that I wanted to do. and being filled with that gratitude gave me that joy and that happiness despite everything else that's going on. Lesson number 2, have courage. I think it's okay that we all have fear. Yes, it was a fearful year, hearing all these news and not knowing what will happen. Everything is changing, but have the courage to face realities. Based on my coach and best-selling author, Dr. An Lan, who wrote the book Living in Grace, Living Your Best Life Now. She said, practicing courage will develop a positive attitude towards failure. As we go through life, it is guaranteed that someday we will encounter failure, and it is not the end of the world. It took Thomas Edison 10,000 times to successfully discover the electric light bulb, and his statement is the exemplary case of practicing courage. I have not failed. I've only found 10,000 ways that won't work. Thomas A. Edison. Courage allows us to continue to face realities, face all the challenges that we are thrown with, and still have the grace to live out our life. Lesson number 3. Practice self-awareness. I learned how important it is to find time for self-reflection, to ask questions, to do some deep thinking, and with no option but to keep social distance, I found I had a lot more time to myself. And with that time, I can busy myself with consuming news, consuming media, consuming things that can be a lot of noise. Instead, what I found was I was able to really spend some time with myself. I spent a lot of time meditating, a lot of time analyzing the path I was going on and the life I was leading and the person I was becoming. And I found that I was able to find gaps and to find ways and to think about ways how I can become more of the person that I want to become. I spent a lot of time writing, journaling, writing out my thoughts, writing out my feelings. So I felt that being self-aware is what this year has really given to me, because with everything being canceled, with my social calendar being wiped out, I really feel with all that time, I'm able to reconnect with myself. And it was a wonderful feeling to have that time, because I was living such a busy, fast-paced life prior to 2020 that sometimes being able to just sit down and meditate felt like a luxury. But here I am at home with, nothing else much to do. And so I decided I wanted to spend a lot more time with myself. And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. It led me to creating this podcast and many other wonderful things.